Afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to Wild Flow. I'm Sydney Rose, and I'm here to lead you through our practice today. Today, our theme is going to be heart hope. So, holding hope in your heart that tomorrow will be just a smidgen better than today, and facing each day heart forward. So, this practice is going to be a strength-based training practice. And keeping in mind to have a hopeful heart and start each new day with a hopeful heart, a curious spirit, and the courage of a lion. Let's begin. So if you're following along with our playlist, this is Wild Flow 7, and you can push play now. We'll start in a comfortable seated position, moving our fleshy bits out of the way so we can sit up nice and tall, closing down our eyes. We'll start by connecting with our breath. Moving air in and out through our nose, we fill up our chest, we fill up our ribs, we fill up our belly, and we exhale from our belly, from our ribs, and from our chest. Inhale, chest, ribs, belly. Exhale, belly, ribs, chest. Inhale into your heart space, lifting and opening through your shoulders. Inhale into your rib cage, expanding all directions. Inhale, filling your belly, pressing your belly button away from your spine. And then exhale, letting your belly relax, or pulling your belly in, letting your ribs relax down. And exhale, letting your heart space settle. Continue breathing in this way as you gently begin to introduce movement, unless you'd rather stay still. But go ahead and sway side to side or rock forward and back, or tip your head side to side. Either way, start with micro movements, isolating little muscle groups in your upper body. Gentle swaying happening here. Keep your breath going into the 3 parts of your chest and your ribs and your belly, 3 parts of your upper body. As you let the movements happen. And then all together, we'll raise our arms overhead with a big inhale. Cycling one arm at a time back. Keeping our arms up in the air, stretched up through our fingertips. One arm at a time. Reaches back and circles back up to the top. And then we'll bring our palms together, pull our hands down through our heart space into a prayer position, and start drawing circles with the fingertips, waking up through the wrists. Circles both directions. And we'll keep our hands here as we start doing circles with our chest. So counterclockwise movements, moving your heart space forward to the side, rounding the back, and going to the other side. Keeping your breath deep and on purpose. And we'll slowly change direction. So rolling the chest in the other direction. And then we'll take our left hand, place it on our left shoulder. Right hand reaches out to the side. We'll inhale, squeeze our elbows back. And we'll exhale, the left elbow comes over to the right shoulder. We'll inhale, squeeze open. Exhale, left over to right. Inhale, open. Exhale, squeeze over. Inhale, open. exhale, over. Inhale, open. Exhale, over. We'll inhale, open both arms, little pulses, backs of the hands towards behind you. We'll bring the right hand to the right shoulder. Inhale, open. Exhale, elbow across to the left. We'll inhale, open. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, open. Exhale, over. Open. Over. Open. Over. Open. Over. We'll bring both hands back to the belly. Inhale, push our hands away. And exhale, push our hands towards our spine. So we're inhaling and expanding. We're exhaling, letting our belly pull back. Inhale, press it forward. Exhale, press it back. Keeping our hands here so we can feel our breath move. We're going to take our right ear to our right shoulder. And then chin, rolling in front, chin to the chest, left ear, left shoulder. And then back the other way. And back. And back. We'll bring our head back to a neutral position, fill ourselves with breath. And then as we exhale, we'll turn our chin over to our right shoulder, looking to the right. Come back to center, look to the left. Come back to center, look to the right. Come back to center, look to the left. Back to center and to the right. Back to center, chin up to the sky, looking way up, stretching through the throat. And then exhale, chin to chest, stretching through the back of the neck. Inhale, head up. Exhale, head down. Coming back to neutral, we'll come forward onto all fours. Lowering one forearm at a time to the ground, stepping back into a forearm plank. So our tailbone is tucked under, our back is strong, our fingertips are gripping the mat. We're on our forearms here, chin is lifted, gentle pulses lifting the right leg up. And then switch to the left, little pulses. And then switching to the right. And to the left. Right. 2, 3, left. 2, 3. One more time each side, lifting 3 pulses. And then straightening the arms one at a time, stepping them back for a high plank, shifting forward and back, little pulses here. And then press the hips up and down, or up and back for downward facing dog, bending into opposite knees. And we'll widen our stance a little bit, planting into our left arm. Our right arm circles back and forward. We'll plant our right hand down as we cycle back through our left arm. Planting our hands down, our chest pushes back towards our knees, bending deep into our knees. We look up between our hands, we fill ourselves with breath. And as we exhale, we stick out our tongue, exhaling from our mouth. So fill up with breath, and exhale. And again, inhale, fill up, exhale. And exhale. We'll step our feet a little bit closer together, pressing into our regular down dog for down dog push-up. So bending our elbows wide to the side and straightening our arms up. This can also be done from your knees. Up, bend, up. And we'll look up between our hands, straighten our right leg up into the air, bend our right knee and step it through between our arms, widening our stance, pressing back through our left heel. We roll up one shoulder at a time, coming up into high lunge, both arms up. Exhaling, deep bend. Inhaling, come up slightly. Exhale, lunge. Inhale, come up. Exhale, lunge. We're gonna lean forward and swing out our arms here. So little pulses into the right leg, swinging arms forward and back. We're going to take our hands, interlace them behind our back, step our right foot wide, inhale to lift the chest, and exhale, exalt forward, humbling yourself down, lifting your hands up off of your back for humble warrior. And then we'll release our hands down on either side of our right foot. Press our hips down and forward. Left hand stays on the ground. Right arm reaches up to the air and forward to the front of the room. And little shifts forward and back. And we'll cycle that right arm back so it can come on the inside of the right foot, opening up onto the left heel, reaching the left hand up to the sky. We'll lift our hand up off of the ground, tiny little pulses up and down here. So reaching for the sky with the left arm. Then we'll cartwheel our hands down on the inside of our right foot, coming back onto our left toe, stepping our right foot back, hips high and back, downward facing dog, and we'll shake it out. So pressing down through both heels, grounding down, getting those jiggly bits jiggling. And then bringing that to stillness, down dog push-up. So bending the elbows out wide to the side, pulsing the head towards the ground. And we'll straighten our arms, look up between our hands. Left leg comes high into the air. Big breath, bending into that left knee, looking forward, stepping forward with the right foot. Pressing back through the right, or stepping forward with the left foot. Pressing back through the right heel, rolling back one shoulder at a time to come up for our lunge. Tiny little pulses here, pressing your hips down and forward. Heel goes way back. We'll pivot our hips here, sending our body forward and swing one arm at a time. Swinging our arms forward and back. Little pulses into that front knee. And we'll reach that right hand down underneath the right shoulder. Left arm cycles back. Twisting to the left, the right arm, or left arm comes up and overhead. Big stretch. And then backwards, cycling through that left arm. And we'll bring that left hand to the inside of the left foot, opening up through the right hip, reaching the right arm up into the sky. Big stretch. And then lifting the torso so the left hand comes up the ground, tiny little pulses upward here, keeping that left knee bent. And we'll cartwheel hands down, sliding that left foot back, hands underneath the shoulders, bending 90 degrees into the elbows, halfway push-ups. Keeping the elbows close to the body. 3 more, you got this. 2, 1, knees go down, hips go back, child's pose, drum it out. Pointing the toes, bringing the hands back to meet the feet, forehead to the mat, rolling out side to side. And we'll lift our torso up, looking up to the top of our mat, stepping forward with our right leg, low lunge, left elbow comes forward. Bring it back, fold. Lift the hip, step forward with the left, right elbow comes forward. Stepping back and fold. Forward with the right, left elbow comes forward. Back and fold. Forward with the left, right elbow forward. Back and fold. And again with the right side, this time staying here, walking the hands up to the shins. Left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back, twisting here. And we'll cartwheel left hand first, then right hand flipping that back toe, Sending the right leg back and high for three-legged down dog. Bringing our knee into our chest, straightening back. Bring our knee into our chest, lift it back, into the chest, lift it back. Fly your right foot up to switch to your left leg. Left knee into the chest and back. Left knee into the chest and back. Chest and back. Stepping that left leg forward, dropping that right knee, pointing those right toes, lifting up. Right arm comes forward, left arm comes back, twisting to the left. And we'll cartwheel right hand, left hand to the ground, stepping our right foot up to meet our left for forward fold. We're sitting down into our chairs. We lift our chest, hands come onto our knees. Tiny little pulses here. Bending deep into your knees, breathing. Making sure you can wiggle your toes still. And then we'll step our feet a little bit wider than hip distance. Bring our torso up, hands come up, dip one knee at a time into center. Keep it going, twisting through those hips. We'll bring it up, step our legs wide, toes pointed forward, hips go side to side. So nice stretch here, hands can be on the hips as they press side to side. And we'll hinge at those hips, folding our chest down towards the floor. Both hands reach for the ground, tucking the chin. Let the back of the body grow long. Head is heavy, forward folding. We're going to walk our hands over to our right foot. Left hand reaches for the outside of the right leg. Bending into our left knee, little pulses. And then nice and slowly we'll walk both hands back up to center, shake out our hips, and walk both hands over to the left. Right hand on the outside of the left leg, pulsing, bending into the right knee. And then we'll come back to center, hands on the hips, chest leads, standing all the way up. Stepping one foot at a time into center, we'll ground through our left leg. Grounding through our left foot. Raising our right knee up toward our chest. Big breaths here, little pulses. Bring the knee in toward the chest, up and down. And then we'll take that right knee, big backward circles. And we'll step that right foot into the left thigh as we come up into our tree. Arms can be at the hips, at the chest, out to the side, or way up for a full tree pose. Big breaths here. We'll bring our hands back to our hips, release our foot from our thigh, stepping it behind the body. Little hip taps here. So toe touches, bringing the heel into the hip. And then we'll bring that right foot back where it belongs, lifting straight leg forward. And then lift straight leg to the side, out to the right. And then we'll lift it to the back, heel back. 2, 1. Step that right foot back. Transfer your weight onto your right leg. Roll out your left ankle. Both directions. We'll sit down into our chair once again, bending our knees, little pulses. And we'll start little circles with our hips here. So circling our hips in our chair. And then we'll straighten into that right foot this time, bringing our left knee in, little pulses up to center, pulling the knee up, leg lifting, bent knee. And then take that left knee backwards, circles here. 2, 1. Straight leg lifts to the front. Straight leg lifts to the side. And then straight leg lifts to the back. And we'll bring that knee, bend it in, press the foot into the thigh, opening up for our tree. Arms can be where it's comfortable for you, filling yourself with breath. Keeping your heart open, keeping your breath full and complete. And we'll bring our hands to heart center, taking our left leg, crossing it behind the body, toe touches here, lifting your heel up towards your bum. Touch your toes, bend your knee. And then we'll take that left leg, step it wide, bending into our knees. 1 foot at a time comes up to center, kicking into our hand here. So bend, kick, 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 bend, kick. One more time on each side. Bend and kick. Stepping our knees a little bit wider, heels in, toes out, bending deep into our goddess, hands on our knees. 1 shoulder at a time stretches in towards center and up. Exhaling, twist. Bring it back up. Exhale, twist. Bring it back up. Exhale, twist. Bring it back up. Our chest pulses lifting forward. So little chest pulses here. Squeezing the shoulder blades together. Opening through the heart. And we'll sit up nice and tall, hands scoop behind and in front. Behind and in front. Hands come pointed down towards the ground. Little pulses here, coming to your fullest expression. As low as you can go. Tiny little pulses. And then we'll straighten out through those legs. Toes come forward, hinging at the hips, forward fold. Thumbs tuck in opposite elbows. Figure 8 side to side. And then we'll reach down for the top of our mat, stepping 1 leg at a time, coming into our tabletop position on all 4s. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Right foot presses up as if we're holding a tray on that right foot. Little pulses here. Keep smiling, keep breathing. And we'll straighten out through that right leg. Rainbow lift side to side. And leaving that right leg extended, we'll bend it over to the right elbow, straighten it back, over to the left elbow, straighten it back, right elbow, and back, left elbow, and back, right elbow, back, left elbow, back, 1 last time each side, right elbow, and back, left elbow, and back. We'll widen our elbows wide to the side, pressing our nose to the mat and straightening out through our arms. And again, wide elbows, nose to the mat and back up. And 1 last time, wide elbows, nose to the mat and back up. Hands back underneath of the shoulders, lifting our left leg up like we're holding a tray. Little pulses here. Pressing up. And then we'll bring that left leg straight and nice and long. And a rainbow here. So left side, right side. So lifting and rainbow here, side to side. And then we'll bring that left leg straight behind us as we bend left knee to left elbow. Straighten behind, left knee, right elbow. Straight, left elbow. Straight, right elbow. Straight, left elbow. Straight, right elbow. Straight. One last time on each side. Straight, right elbow. Straight, bringing our knees back together. Our knees go wide, our toes go together, our hips go back. Child's pose. We'll tent up onto our fingers, rolling our chest side to side here. And then start making big chest circles. Keeping your fingertips glued into the ground. Really arching your back here. And changing direction. And then we'll do some child's pose push-ups. So bringing your knees back together, hands plant on the mat. We'll lift our hips, come forward, push up, and come back. Lift our hips, transfer forward, elbows close to the body, bend and push, and back. Lift our hips, elbows bend, push up, and back. 2 more times. Push up. Then lift and transfer forward, push up and back. We'll lift ourselves back up to our tabletop position. Hands underneath of our shoulders. Knees a little bit closer this time so they're more under your belly button. We'll flip our toes. Fill ourselves with breath. And as we exhale, lifting our knees 1 inch off of the ground. So we're coming into bear pose. Breathing here, knees up to center and wide open. Up to center, so our knees are up and open, up and open. And then we'll bring our knees back to center, contralateral limb lift, so our knees are up off of the ground. If you just can't, then it's okay for them to be on. We're gonna pull into our shoulder blades, lifting one hand at a time. So trying your best to keep your hips still as you lift here. Keep breathing. And then hands are still, we'll lift our feet 1 at a time. Knees come down, toes pointed, hips come back, chest lays over thighs, child's pose, taking your fists, rolling out your wrists. Breathing here. And then we'll come back, lifting our hips high. Hips come forward, chest is up, we're kneeling here or standing on our knees. Big breaths. And we'll do a nice circles with our hips here around our knees. And again, back the other way. Here, big circles. Back the other way. We're going to bring our knees together, keep our toes pointed behind our back. Our right arm glues to our right side. Our left arm comes up and over, ahead. Inhale. Exhale, shoulder down away from the ear. We inhale to lift our chest. And we exhale, reaching down the right leg towards the right knee. Big stretching here. Pulling the elbow down to the side. Reach and stretch. Keeping the weight even between both knees. Reaching and stretching. And then we'll reach over to the right side. Left arm comes all the way back up. Right arm comes up to reach it Fingers interlace, but the pointer fingers stay up. Hips come forward, reaching back. Gentle back bend here, looking up softly, making sure you're not creasing too far into the spine. We'll inhale back through center. Exhale, hinge at the hips, reaching fingers down towards the ground. We inhale, lift our body up. Hips come forward, arms go back. Exhale. Inhale back through center. Exhaling, hinging at the hips, reaching forward, down to the ground. Inhale, tracing a line up the front of the space. Hips come forward, arms come to the hips as our hips return over top of our knees. Left arm glued to our left side, right arm reaches all the way up to the sky with an inhale. Exhale, shoulder down away from the ear. We inhale to lift our chest. And we exhale, slide the left hand towards the left knee, reaching over to the left side. Big breaths up the side body here, pulling elbow down. Keeping our hips nice and even, trying not to press too far over to the right side. Reaching and pulling. And then we'll inhale, come back up through center, arms come parallel to the floor. We inhale, palms come to the forehead, lifting the gaze for the third eye. We exhale, down. We inhale, lift. Exhale, inhale up. Exhale, inhale, lift. Exhale, inhale, lift. Exhale, inhale, lift, and exhale. This time we're going to stay here, planting our hands, walking to the back of our mat. We're going to step forward with our right foot, coming into a kneeling position, flipping our back toes, lifting that back knee off of the ground, bending down deep into our kneel, hands on the sides. We're stepping forward and kneeling down, stepping forward and kneeling down. Walking back to the back of our mat. This time left foot steps forward, right knee bends down. Right leg steps forward, left knee bends down. Left foot forward, right knee down. We'll pick our right knee up and step it long back, coming into our high lunge. We'll open up through the right hip. Left arm comes forward, right arm comes back, bending into our warrior two. Cartwheeling our left hand and our right hand to the mat, sliding our left foot back, coming into our plank, lowering our knees wide, toes together, hips come back. Big breaths here. Filling yourself with breath from your belly, into your ribs, into your chest, and then exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. Slightly different than our breath from before. And we'll look up between our hands, transfer our weight forward, stepping forward with our right foot, flipping our back toes, opening up through our left hip, sitting down deep into our warrior two. Legs, arms come forward. Tiny little pulses here. And we'll lift our right arm up to the sky, cartwheeling back to our mat. Right foot comes back, walking down into our downward dog, bending our knees to the floor, and then straightening our legs, lifting our hips to the sky. We'll plant into our left hand, lift our right arm off of the ground, reach it back for the outside of our left ankle, and twist over to the left side. And we'll look up, return our right hand, press our hips back and up. Plant our weight onto our right hand, lift our left arm off of the ground, reaching back to the right, twisting over to the right. Big breaths here. And we'll return our left hand, walking our hands back to meet our feet at the back of our mat. Toes together, heels apart, straightening up through our legs. Hands come up the back, or up the shins, Chest lifts for flat back, arms reach back behind the body, little pulses here at the hips. And then with our chest leading, we'll transfer our hips forward as we come to stand straight. At the back of our mat, arms out in front, legs active, holding your mountain pose, holding your Tadasana, and we'll start grounding down through our heels. So lifting and lowering through the heels, giving the body a shake, keeping your breath going, hitting the ground with purpose, getting the jiggly bits jiggling. We want it to shake, we want our knees slightly bent, and we want to sway side to side. So we're getting this shake, this grounding happening through the whole body. And then we'll bring that to stillness. Inhale, hands come all the way up, big breath. Exhale, hinging at the hips, chest leads, forward fold. Peace fingers grab onto the big toes, elbows come wide, nose to knees, forward fold. Stretching through the backs of the legs, straightening one knee at a time. Hips sway side to side. And then we'll step forward with our left foot, bringing our right knee into our chest and transferring our weight so our right foot comes forward, coming into a pistol squat. And then lowering our heel down onto the ground, twisting side to side with those toes. If this is too much for your left leg, you can go onto your left knee here for half Hanumanasana. Otherwise, staying in your pistol squat position, toes pointed up toward the ceiling, big breath. And as we exhale, we'll lift that right leg up towards the sky. And transfer our weight onto our left arm. We'll bring that right leg around to meet the left, coming into our toe stand. So fanning out those toes, thighs are parallel to the floor, standing up nice and tall, big breaths here. And we'll bring our hands with our palms facing towards the floor, fingertips together, and shift our arms side to side. Gripping the mat with our toes. And we'll reach for our mat, straighten up through our legs. Thumbs in opposite elbows as we figure eight our elbows side to side. And then we'll release our hands back to our mat, lift our gaze slightly to the center of our mat, step our right foot, 1 foot forward, bring our left knee into our chest and straighten our left leg out in front of us for our pistol squat. And we'll lower that heel onto the ground, toes go side to side. Hands either planted on the ground or on your thigh, big breath. As you exhale, lift your heel up towards the ceiling, up off the ground. Maybe it comes off 1 inch. Maybe you just feel your leg engaged and it doesn't come off at all. Either way is okay. And we'll plant our right hand onto the ground, lift that left leg up, bring it around, coming back to our toe stand. So we'll bring our hands to our heart center. We'll press our toe stand into our chair pose, lifting our arms out in front, biceps come to our ears. Big breath here. We'll take our arms and cactus them open, so 90-degree bends in the elbows. We'll inhale, squeeze our elbows open, and as we exhale, we'll bring them together, rounding through our back, pulling our shoulder blades apart, elbows to knees. Inhale, open and lift. Exhale, rounding elbows to knees. Inhale, open and lift. Exhale, elbows to knees. Inhale, open and lift. Exhale, elbows to knees. We'll inhale, open and lift one more time, sitting down deep into our chair. We'll bring our elbows together, our forearms together, our hands together, and we'll take our elbows to the outside of our left knee and straighten our arms. So pressing the right elbow into the left knee, Bringing our arms back up to our chest, we'll lift our elbows and cross them over to the left or right knee. Straighten the arms, bring them back, lift and cross, elbow to knee, straighten and come back, lift and cross, elbow to knee, straighten arms and bring them back, lift and cross. Now we'll tick-tock side to side, elbows to the knees. Not sure why my screensaver is coming on right now. It's very confusing. I don't like it. So elbows to knees, side to side. And then we'll straighten the legs, straighten the arms to the ground. Inhale, lifting all the way up, big breath. Exhale, hands come down through the third eye to heart center. We'll step into our left leg. Our right foot comes behind our back. Toes pointed down to the ground, rolling out through the ankle. It's changing direction, going back the other way. And the other way. And then we'll step that right foot forward, left toe reaches back. Big circle here. And the other way. And we'll step into our left foot, bring our right ankle to our right knee, open into figure four, sitting down here. Our right hand comes to our right knee, our left hand reaches up and over to the right. Big breaths here, the left hip juts out to the left side. And we'll inhale back through center. Left arm reaches for the right foot. Right arm comes up this time. Shoulder down away from the ears. We lift and we exhale, reaching over to the left side. And we'll bring that right hand back up to center. Reaching down for our right foot with our right hand, grabbing onto the pinky toe edge, left hand, left hip. Kicking that right leg comes forward, big breaths here. And it opens up to the right side. Knee bent is totally okay. Take our left arm, reach it out to the side, big breaths. Maybe even relevating through the left ankle, lifting and lowering here, trying to get those wiggle wobbles happening. We'll release that right foot. Cross it behind, toe to the mat for our curtsy lunge. Hands come to heart center, lift, and exhale, exalt or fold, humble forward, arms behind the back, nose to knee. And we'll step our right foot back to meet our left, forward fold. We'll inhale, hands come up the shins, chest lifts for flat back. And we'll exhale, fold down again. Inhaling, arms come trace the front of the room through our chair pose, straightening up to our mountain, hands come down to the hips. Lifting into our left knee, we'll cross our left ankle. This is my ankle, left ankle over the right knee, sitting down into figure four chair. Arms are heavy at the sides, chest is lifted and open, big breaths here. Our left hand comes to meet our left knee, left leg. Our right arm lifts overhead. Exhaling, shoulder down away from the ear. Inhaling to fill yourself with breath. Exhaling, reaching over to the left side. Big side stretch. That right hip is pushed out to the right side. And we'll inhale, come back through center. Exhale, the right arm comes down for the right foot. And our left arm comes out to the side, reaches all the way up, sitting down nice and low in your chair, big breath. And as you exhale, reaching over to the right side, bending the right elbow close to the body. Left knee pushing away from the left hip. Breathing here. And we'll inhale, come back to center. Exhale, hand comes down on the outside of the left foot, straightening the foot out in front, right hand, right hip. Big breath. And
the inhale, open up to the side. Right arm reaches out to the right side. And maybe even releve into that standing leg. We'll bring our hands to heart center, letting go of our left foot in control, stepping it behind and across, coming in to our curtsy lunge. Hands reach for the back, opening through the chest. We exhale, fold forward, humbling nose to knee as our arms lift up high. And our arms reach back down for the ground as we bring our left foot in to meet our right, walking up to the top of our mat. Bending our knees into our chest, hips come down to the ankles, hugging the hands, or hugging the arms around the legs. Trust, fall backwards, roll it out, forward and back. And we'll lay one vertebrae at a time down onto the mat. Hands come underneath of the hips. So rock side to side, squishing those hands down. Heels come up to the sky for waterfall. Big breaths here. And we'll bring those heels back to the hips, letting our wrists go. We pull our knees in towards our belly. Chin lifts, nose to knees. Lowering our head back down onto the mat. Hands grip the mat on our sides, tucking shoulders one at a time underneath. We fill ourselves with breath. And as we exhale, we lift our knees towards our nose, pressing our hips up towards the sky, supporting the back. Low back with our hands as we straighten our legs up for shoulder stand. Holding onto your hips here. And we'll begin to slowly moving our legs here. There's no wrong way. I always like to say, think of being a synchronized swimming team of one. Slowly pedaling your legs out, moving them around in the air, being okay with being upside down. Keeping the gaze up towards the ceiling here. We don't want to be turning our head side to side. We're stretching out through our back. And if you want to experiment with a full plow here, reaching your toes one at a time for the ground above your head. Keeping that chin way tucked. Full plow, our arms extend back. Our toes reach for the ground. And if you're moving in your synchronized swimmer, slowly bringing your knees back towards your nose, heels to hips, arms step out one at a time, and we lower one vertebrae at a time, back down, nice and controlled, up to the ground, or down to the ground. Legs lift back up to the sky, tucking our chin in toward our chest, reaching one hand at a time to opposite toes. So right hand, left toe, left hand, right toe. Little push or sit-ups here. Side to side. And we'll lower our hands down, lower our head back down. Our feet come to rest under our bum, below our bum. Heels close to the body so you can reach down and touch them. Knees hip width distance apart. Take a big breath. And as you exhale, press your hips up towards the sky. Knees glue together. Big breaths here. And we'll lower down slightly, little pulses up and down here. And we'll lower our hips back down to the ground, taking our left leg, crossing it over our right. Arms come out to the side, hips come up and over to the left side. Big breath. And as you exhale, twisting over to the right side, gazing over to the left. Big breath. And we'll bring our knees back up, bring our hips back, uncross our legs, knees into the chest, pulling nice and tight, rocking side to side, massaging out those adrenal glands. our fight or flight center, or rest and digest for that matter. We want to lower our left leg down, take our right leg, cross it over the left, arms out wide to the side, big breaths. Lifting our hips over to the right side, we want to let our knees fall over to the left. You might have some cracking happening here. Big breaths, filling yourself up. And then we're going to bring our knees back up towards the sky, bring our hips back, uncross our legs. Feet go wide, knees dip in one at a time into center. Beginning to slow your mind down if you haven't already done so. As you massage out your glutes, rocking your knees side to side. Consciously reconnect with your breath, filling in through your nose, filling your chest, filling your ribs, filling your belly, and exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. Inhaling into your chest, into your ribs, and into your belly. Exhaling from your belly, from your ribs, and from your chest. Sending your consciousness into your heart space. Step out one leg at a time, nice and long, coming to rest in your final Shavasana. Letting your body be still, letting it press into the ground. Continue moving your breath consciously for 4 more breaths. Letting your body fill up and letting it empty out. Feeling held by the earth, by the ground. As you give yourself permission not to worry about what's going on around you. Doing your best to notice where your mind is starting to think about what's coming next. And consciously tell yourself that the only thing that matters is what's happening right now. So staying laying here, connecting with your breath, being in this space, breathing here. And at the end of your 4th exhale, let go of the need to control your breath and allow yourself to just be. I'll signal you when it's time to come back. never left. Just take a moment to acknowledge that you did it. You showed up. You moved your body, and your body thanks you. Slowly begin to reawaken your body by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Taking a big stretch. Waking yourself up again for the second time today. Before rolling on to your right or your left side. Pausing here with one hand over your heart. Taking a moment in this fetal position to be grateful for your existence. Before gently pressing yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Maybe even curling your lips into a gentle smile, ending your practice today with joy in your heart. And all together we'll inhale, our arms come wide to the side, up to the sky. We gaze up between our hands in exaltation and gratitude for our life, for our breath, for our body, for our earth. And we exhale together, bringing our hands to our third eye center, where we pause here and always remember to think kind thoughts. We fill ourselves with breath all together. As we exhale, bringing our hands down to the center of our voice, at our throat and our lips, where we always remember to speak kind words. And all together, one last time in our practice today, we fill ourselves with breath, and we exhale, bringing our hands down to heart center, where we always remember to do kind things. Thank you so much for joining me in our Wild Flow practice today. I see you.